Welcome back to the GSL Code S. It's time for us to go on to the winner's match here. Whoever wins now in this best of 3 does shoot up to the round of 16.
Yeah, no 2-0s in our first 2 matches, so it's been a pretty close group so far.
It's been a pretty epic day so far, actually.
Yeah, no like big one-sided matchups yet. And I feel like Life versus Classic might be the first one we end up having like that because of how well Life played earlier and how Classic did seem to struggle a little bit in that game 1. But it's really like a question in my mind of, was it really the map that threw him off, or was it just that aggressive wing pull? We don't really know.
You know, for me, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what is Life going to do in the early game here? Because whatever he does in the early game, he usually manages to make whatever he's doing work. That could mess Classic up. Classic is going for this like supreme late game PvZ army. You know, he's getting the Void Rays, the Colossi, everything like that. Is Life going to let him get that far without so many, you know, traps thrown in there that Classic could end up in a very tough spot where Life can just win no matter what?
Well, Overgrowth seems to be the map that a lot of Zergs are loving ZVP, and it's our starting map here, so that's got to hurt for Classic as well.
Yeah, actually, excellent point there, too. We are now ready for game number 1 here between these 2 players, Life and Classic, for Group D of the GSL Code S.
I feel like I'm riding away.
In the upper right, in the red, he is
StarCraft Life, 이승현.
DreamHack champion, GSL champion, Blizzard Cup champion.
all-around great guy.
Nice guy.
Nice guy.
Very young, very talented. To the bottom left, in the teal, his opponent.
SK Telecom T1 Classic, 김도.
And arguably the strongest team, and actually it's not even really arguable at this point, the strongest team in the world right now, on top of Pro League, looking unbeatable at this moment in time.
He's in the teal. Are we going with teal now, not green?
I wish Artosis was my dad. Hashtag Dadtosis. Well,
I wish Artosis was my dad. Actually, that would be really weird if I was casting with the Artosis as my dad.
Well, Artosis would probably give me a timeout if I did Void Rail, and I don't know.
And he'd be like, no, you know what? This is a great build. You turtle a lot with this, and you don't attack, and it's very safe. It's like playing StarCraft with condoms on. I like it very much. Good job.
I wonder what Artosis would be like. He comes to homework. I'm trying to like make a
Dude, hold on a second. Let's see if is this going to be a cannon rush.
Did he not see it before he queued that up? Okay, well he's got a pool here, so I think he's
because he can make that cannon like right there where the
yeah, he can actually use the hatch a bit to like. I don't think this is going to happen. This can't work. Can it work?
What?
This is no SOS here, but this is a classic cannon. Oh, there goes the third one. Takes 3 drones to kill a building cannon before it finishes, but with 3 building cannons, you usually extend that to like 9. So I think he's actually going to be able to finish one of them.
One in the back there too. That's annoying.
Ah, but he gets full surface area here, so these first 2 are definitely not going to finish. Well, if they do, they're going to be very low. Yeah, he's going to finish them. In fact, the first one.
Yeah, because the first one gets done here. Now, you've got to use that probe here. You can do a lot of crappy stuff with that probe to try to slow this down. The next cannon's done. He wants to try to get the links here. We don't see the... we don't know how close those are to being done.
That one is done, basically. This one over here going to finish with very good points.
Now he wants to get the lings.
Targets the lings again.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, he targets lings over there.
Yeah,
because he knows the drones have to walk. Distance. Yeah. And...
I can't believe this just works. It's so funny.
I think he's actually okay, though.
You know, he didn't get a lot of drones, which is the important note here. And when you think of how much money he's spending...
Actually...
Now imagine had that probe stayed alive.
Yeah. It ends up being about the same as last game, with a lot of mining time lost too from all those drones. Now, it's a little bit worse than last game, but it was still okay. Well,
it's really interesting to see Classic does this every time. It's not the same thing as some of the other cannon rushes we've seen. This one's basically hinged on the fact that the Zerg might not be able to get over to stop all the cannons in time.
Yeah.
Usually it's just due to really good positioning. And this one starts out with good positioning, but normally it's like there's one cannon that finishes, and then they just tuck the next one in range of the hatch or somewhere else. And it's pretty minimalist in the sense of the cannon rush. This is like a crazy whack-a-mole game of cannons here for the Zerg.
Keep in mind, this time Life didn't make the third hatch first. He held this hatch. You know, he had that creep over there, and he got the queens up now. So yeah, he doesn't have that third base larva production, but with the drone count that's this low because of what happened earlier, I like this much better. This situation for Life much better than what we saw for Hydra in that previous game, and now. I mean, he's down in workers, but not for much longer because those injects are going to hit. And he's going to have all that extra drone production. And I'm liking his place here.
Well, I guess the game normalizes out now. We have the Stargate being made here. And the Zerg, you just see it just getting a third. We're going to have to see. I assume an Oracle comes out here. Just seeing from the way Classic's played, he gets an Oracle out. He's going to harass a little bit, probably get more Stargates, get the Colossi out, just push out slowly.
He hasn't really been playing that Phoenix style. He goes for
I mean,
Oracle Void Ray.
And consider it worked against Hydra. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't just want to do it right here.
Well, you know, say if it's not broken, don't repair it.
Don't repair it. Don't fix it.
Yeah.
It's not broken, don't call down a mule to fix it.
Well, you know, if the shoe's the right size, as they say.
Yeah. I'm like, what, do they say that?
Now, some people like to say if the boot fits, but I don't like that as much.
Yeah. In this case, it fits. The glass slipper fits right now for Classic. I mean, he's not going to turn into a pumpkin after midnight.
Yeah, get home by midnight, as they say.
He's not going to be a pumpkin. He's going to instead maybe move on to the round of 16. Was that how that fairy tale went?
Yeah. If you got home by midnight, you go into the round of 16. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If you get home by midnight,
because Cinderella was in group stages against those other three mean sisters that she had. So. So we have Phoenix is moving out. And they're going to go scout. And you've seen it all before. The Protoss makes the Nexus here. Gets the pylons up, walls off the cannon.
Yeah. You're just you're spelling it out for us. Tastes.
Oh, yeah. And we got 22 lings being made with a +1 attack right here.
All rallied to the third base, as was shown here by Heaven. That's the target.
He is going to go for the Phoenixes. Hello.
Yeah, he gets here before that wall is set up, and that was a pretty greedy third with the Robo coming up too. But he's totally ready to just cancel that and go to plan B here.
Yep, getting a lot more gates up here and going for the Colossus tech. But this is what I was talking about earlier. You know, in the big question of Life. I mean, he's so good at his early game. He's so good at doing damage. Is he going to slow Classic down? The Classic can't get into that epic endgame situation that allows him to win.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about fairy tales that might relate to this game now. Like,
that's a good question. I try to think of other fairy tales we can make jokes out of.
I'm like, it's like that Aesop's
Let's talk about that player that kept changing his IDs, and the casters had to guess his ID every time because he kept going back. I'm like, what was his ID? It was Rumpelstiltskin. How's that? Is that pretty good?
Oh my God.
I just killed Wolf, man. Wolf just died.
Oh, I'm like, I thought that was Ghost King Prime, but I was wrong.
No, it was him, Rumpelstiltskin.
Okay.
Yes.
Rumpelstiltskin.prime.wee.
We could talk about... Oh, hold on. We got links coming up here.
These links at +1. This has become more common these days.
We're talking about Life the Royal Rotor and how, you know, in order to get his other teammates up into a Royal Rotor position, he had to let down his long golden hair.
I knew you were going to say that.
And climb up.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Well, it was like the Aesop's Fable where the
Aesop Fable? Is it Aesop? I thought it was Aesop.
See, I never really knew that. Oh, my God. He's not going to get this, surely.
No. He's got it.
Well, I had something earlier about the crow choking on the cheese, but like I lost it.
I don't know that one.
The crow like tries to prove that he could sing, and then he like chokes on cheese and dies or something. It's terrible.
These Phoenixes are going to try to get back home, but guess what? Well, the little trail of breadcrumbs they left to find their way back home was eaten up by neutral critters on the map. And that's how Life then cooked those in his gingerbread house. Or no, wait a minute. Maybe Life's base was a gingerbread house.
Maybe
he was the witch.
Yeah, he could be a witch. It's like,
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well,
so nice hit there, getting those probes.
Yeah, a lot of damage done there for very little effort. You know, he just comes over and catches those, but same sort of damage is going to be done here.
He's going to come over here again.
The Spore is not ready, but he doesn't have enough energy. Now he does.
Yep. He's got to wait a second here. Oh, there's another Phoenix comes up here. Now he'll go back.
He's got like 2 lifts, maybe 3. Just 2.
Nice job just shaving that up. Now, note Life's supply here. It's 155 to the 122 here, and a considerable army lead, 87 to 57. So the question is can he now do the damage, or does he just sit back and defend? You got to be careful with these armies, especially, for instance, all these Corruptors. If you lose them all of a sudden, you're in a tough spot. It looks like he's going to go for the Roach Corruptor timing, where you just try to run them over while they're on 3 bases.
Yeah, it's fake Stalker action here again. I think he knows it's not real here.
Talk about unfazed. Wow.
Just flies in and kills a Colossus for 1 Corruptor, and good force fields here, but not good enough to stop those roaches from coming out, and those are the real damage dealers back there.
Yeah, but there's just too much here. I mean, I think it's actually the big excuse me, not big Colossi. The big Stalker's actually coming in pretty handy. But you know, with the force fields gone, then he can just keep running forward and doing all this damage. That last Colossi goes down. Now there's a lot of Lings being made behind this. He's keeping the Roaches alive. He wants the Lings to come up in the front and take the damage while the Roaches deal it.
I think he's just going to come up here and smack this down. I mean, he has enough Phoenixes to
He's
push
not
the
even
Corruptors
attacking
back.
everything everywhere. Or he's not even attacking the entire army with his little army. Some Roaches actually down there in the bottom attacking. I think he's just going to run him over. I mean,
yeah, no force fields left, and he killed all the Colossi earlier, so the Corruptors did their job. They're not necessary anymore, so even though they died, it's not really a big problem. You take out that cannon, then Lings become more useful. There's that last Colossus now that he has here.
Uh-oh, goodbye, Stargate power. I think he just runs him over here.
Yeah.
Notice some nice focus firing here from the Corruptors. I mean, Life just has too much. Life actually is now in more supply than he was when this battle started here.
Yeah, this is actually maybe the end of this Nexus too. He's got all these Lings surrounding it. May barely save it.
No, I think the Lings get it. The Lings got it.
The Lings have +1.
That was so close.
Now goes over here to the main base. There's a few probes available.
Damn.
Yeah, now he's just going to keep streaming units across. He's hit that critical mass where it's so hard.
Yeah.
Even starting a macro hatch in the main, because he knows that if he doesn't win the game off of this, he can just keep doing damage and always having better production off 4 bases with a macro hatch, 5 hatches to work with. He's going to even pick off pylons. He's like, I'm going to supply block you. I'm going to make your wall worse, whatever I can.
Yeah, just hit him here, there, and everywhere. So Lings are coming down now with the Roaches.
That wall timing is impeccable.
Yeah, really nicely done. He comes back in over here again.
And needs to make sure he's not too greedy with this. But he can go into more Corruptors now and get ready to deal with those Colossi, the real damage dealers. Not getting any more upgrades, actually. He has triple upgrades. 1-1-1 versus the +1 air and you know, just the +1 for ground. He's even taking the gold base right now. This is how confident Life is at this moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he can lose from here. You got Classic hanging on by a thread.
That pylon's been the big baiter over here. Those Roaches tempting him. He's killed a few drones. I mean, in total 25. That's a lot, but like.
By the way, Life way better than Hydra. You know, keeping the edge in the late game. You could see that Classic was really able to keep Hydra on his toes, but I mean, in this game, Life gets a small lead and is just you know, as time passes, dismantling his opponent nicely.
His handling of the cannon rush in the beginning was much better too, and I think that's really a part of this. +1's about to be done for these corruptors. I think he wants to go with this timing window that he has now, where he just... There's no armor on those Colossi, so he's just going to try to tear through the air army first. So many Zerlings on the ground. Not enough force fields here. This base is under attack, meanwhile, by Roaches, but is he split up too much in two directions?
I think he might have actually split up too much there. But the Corruptors are doing a good job there with the damage. The Nexus is going to be taken out.
Okay, well, he's going to get this base, which will eliminate a lot of gas mining, but I don't think he's getting the third. I think this one's going to be saved.
Yeah, he should save this one, no problem. Still, though, less Chrono Boost, that's got to be annoying.
Yeah, less gas mining, too, and a few probes killed over here. He's down to 39 probes against Life at 74 with 9 Corruptors on the way. He's just eventually going to overwhelm. He's playing this like July Zerg played in 2010. It's just like attack until they're dead. All these links coming across. 51.
And, you know, I feel like the Protoss is just spread too thin. I mean, you know, really, Life is just in and out, hitting everywhere at once. Now, he's got to be careful not to get too reckless, because you start to lose battles on multiple fronts here, and the next thing you know, your opponent is back in this game and a serious threat. Although I don't think Life is going to end up doing that here. He's too consistently good.
Yeah. So many Corruptors here now. And the Stalker count has never really... It hasn't like destroyed all the Stalkers once yet, which is what's keeping him alive, because the Stalkers can fight these. But now he's just got so many. He takes out the important units here, flies away from that prismatic alignment. The Void Ray count is getting higher, but I almost feel like Life can move into Hydras. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Okay, Hydras coming out, +2, the range upgrade. And that's going to
make easy work out of those Stalkers and Void Rays.
Yeah, just max out here and do a big final push. His creep spread is much better than Hydra's, and it's going to help him reinforce. I think he's partially doing this just because he wants to free up supply for more units.
Yeah, I think so. Probably hoping that he can maybe get rid of the Nexus, but he doesn't. Meanwhile, another attack over here. My God, Life is everywhere.
Well, Life is all around his Tasis. And now he's all around this base. He's the probes really want to die, but the force field won't let them. But this game is basically classic, hanging on by a thread of a thread.
Yeah, we've been watching Classic in a bit of a cliffhanger position, but I mean, how does he recover from this? I mean, he's doing a good job defending, keeping the Nexus alive, you know, winning fights here and there, but after every attack, Life is just up even more. He keeps switching his unit comp so that this army here is going to be so strong because he took out those Colossi. In the next battle, we see no Colossi here now, so the Hydra's damage up was just going to be too good.
I mean, Classic is trying to do like these little gimmicky things right now, like harassing with 2 Phoenixes. Force fields here, decent, you know, but there's still no Colossi, and once the force fields fade, and look at all the corruption being used, he's just doing extra damage to all those units that you guys see with the green bubbles on them. Whatever you want to call those.
Smoke, I guess.
+2's about to finish for Classic.
Life is maxed out again here. The Immortal goes down. Probably back at home for Life. He's just holding down the H button and making more Hydras.
Yeah, he starts speed for the Hydras, which is going to make them reinforce faster. The Classic is just never trading efficiently enough to where he could somehow catch up. He has no mineral bank. And Life is just waiting to spend his bank. Anytime he loses a Hydra, he instantly replaces it. Like you said, holding down that H key.
You know, you got to hand it to Classic. He definitely knows how to hang on despite being like with army supply that's like half of what his opponent has.
Yeah, this gold base is not taking
definitely a
soon.
Fighter.
Yeah, he really is. 27 Stalkers, though, against 33 Hydras. 17 Corruptors for extra support. These Lings are taking out the last of the probes here at the natural. Now he's actually just going to target down the Nexus.
I mean, he could do this. He's got something. Oh, nice. Here we go.
So much corruption here. Any Colossus that comes out will die, of course. And Hydras are always just going to beat Stalkers in a straight-up fight. Even with these force fields here, he's like trading pretty well. 60 lanes to reinforce.
He just keeps remaking. He backs up. He's going to regroup and attack in again.
17 Corruptors to synergize with that Greater Spire that's coming out.
I don't know if that was a good idea to blink on top of him there.
No. And that's going to be the end here. GG.
All right, let's go to game number 2 now. Life making that look easy. I mean, that game was over for a while, but, you know, Classic was just trying to hang on.
I think Classic was hoping that Life would just really screw up one big engagement.
And that does happen sometimes. I mean, let's not forget, how did Classic beat Hydra?
Yeah, I mean, he
just stayed alive, you know, kept winning those fights until eventually he has his death fall, and he's like, now it's my turn, buddy.
But he just lost too many Nexi. And losing that chrono boosting, losing the gas mining in the main base. And then once you have like only one Colossus left and it gets picked off, you don't even really want to make any more Colossi against 14 Corruptors because they're just going to get right-clicked on. That corruption spam and all over those stalkers. We don't see that enough. That just adds that extra damage output.
Game number 2 is going to be on Frost here. That's the map pick for Classic.
The same map pick he picked in the previous series.
Yeah, that's true. But he played very well in.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just see Life getting out of this group. Classic going back down into the final match.
It seems likely at this point. He looks pretty dominant right now.
Is Classic going to go back to this style? I mean, he just likes to group up. He's very passive, minus the cannon rush, of course. But yeah, he cannon rushes, and then from there he just you know, sits back and masses up. Berserk takes a lot of the map. I feel like there is some danger though when you're against a player like Life who's just so good if you're not messing with him, if you're not trying to slow him down.
Yep. You know, I feel like the coach might be like, I think it's time to change up your style a little bit. You basically shown us the same thing in all the games except the Waystation game with the Robo, but that went wrong.
Yeah, that went terribly wrong, didn't it?
And I think it's just like Life made those links really early, and he rallied them because he knew that third base was going to be taken greedily because Classic's just doing this Void Ray heavy air style that Life is prepared for.
Yeah.
The map is nearly loaded now.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit longer than we're used to here. Anyways, Seoul is the mecca of esports. The best players in the whole world reside here to compete in the biggest esports show of all time.